What they call hip hop ain't the truth. That can go off the side of the.
Hey man, what's the new man? What's the word on the Drake lawsuits, man? What do y'all feel about that? I've been itching to hear y'all thoughts on this, man.
I love it, man. I love it.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
Bring.
Why?
I want to see the math. I like how Flex dropped the price sheet. I like Drake going down with the ship. Shit, burn it. If Nino Brown going down, G Money going down, motherfucking Dutta Man, all y'all coming. This bigger than Nino Brown. Woo! Boy, let's go.
You said Flex dropped the price sheet.
Yes.
Funkmaster Flex dropped the price sheet?
Yeah.
Word? Yep. Wow.
It's like a price sheet. You know what I'm saying? And tech with when I got called on that shit from using DistroKid, their actual Spotify promotion that I used, and then they gonna come back and tell me. So they was dealing whatever they was doing. That's y'all, but I got the strike. So yeah. I want to see who manipulating.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's because Universal is one of the biggest share owners of Spotify. So the fact that they're in there like that, and then Spotify is coming out and saying, we're cracking down on this, and even going to the point of saying that, if you don't stream this amount of streams, we're not going to give it to you, kind of thing. Not even going to pay you at all. Like, that's crazy. The fact that at the top, we know they're doing it, but that they're willing to do it at that scale and kind of. But it's cool that someone's calling them out about it.
Would you say, Q? I've been meaning to tell you, Q. Your mic is doing that thing again too, where it misses your first couple words every once in a while. I'm sure if you just say a couple words, so you'd be good. Well, yeah, I hear you. That was clear.
I'm gonna put my headphones on. I said all I had to say.
You said all you had to say? Where did you say? You said online or something?
Yeah.
You mean the chat?
Yeah, in the chat, in the Instagram chat.
Oh, I didn't even look in there really. I haven't been paying attention. But it's 2 lawsuits, right?
Yeah.
He filed a defamation of character lawsuit today for the pedophile.
I think
violence.
I think that probably somebody in his family, somebody told me to do that or something. I think it's one of them things like, if I look at it from his perspective, he was accused of being a PDF file downloader. So, it's not like he can go and just see him out there in California. You know what I mean?
He can.
Obviously, he can, but that would go horribly for him. Can't see him on the mic, so it's like. But at the same time, he levied a heavy charge against him.
I don't
know.
Did he or did he not bring that upon himself though?
That's where my angle was.
If he didn't, he still gotta get that shit off his shoe. Like, how he gonna get it off? Like, you gonna get it off in court? You gonna get it off him? You gonna get it off?
But here's the thing: if he instigated it, like if he literally threw the first stone, would that actually fly in court?
After being warned.
After being warned, right? Kendrick said, "Don't do X, Y, and Z." He came back.
I won't do this
again.
Yeah, but he, as I say, he put it out there. The man like little kids. If you do,
but the evidence that you present kind of shows that maybe this could be true. Like if he,
it might be true, but if it's true, if it's, if the motherfucker really do, he gonna lie. So he ain't got no choice but to lie and deny if it's true. If it's not true, he ain't got no choice but to fight it. So he kind of put himself in it.
But when you directly reach out to what was she, 13, 14, 15-year-old, whatever she was?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not empathizing with Drake at all.
Kendrick didn't really have to say much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not supporting him at all. I'm just saying, like, that's probably what he's doing. Like, is he probably trying to cover his ass because that's a conversation people want to have now. Like, yo, he like little, you know what I mean? He like kids.
That could stop his money.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, I gotta take this to court.
That's right.
But here's the thing: like, people were finally stopped, like leaving that shit alone, like it was going away.
Yep, he brought it back.
That shit don't never go away, man. That shit don't go away. That shit just people forget it until they don't forget no more. And then it's like, all right, what we gonna do with it?
I mean, yeah, you start hanging out with little kids again. Of course, it's gonna start. Like, people gonna refresh it. Like, oh yeah, he like me.
Yeah, I feel like he needed to disappear for a few months, be quiet, and just take the L quietly, and reinvent himself, or just stay in that pop lane and stay away from hip hop. I think I feel like that was his best bet, especially since he kind of brought it on himself.
He's probably gonna be an actor or something. He might not even make music. He might make movies or something now. So he might go back. You know what I mean? I mean, he got stuff he could do, but he can't do it. I know he already acted. That's what I'm saying, but he can't do it. If he, you know what I mean? If he got the, if he got the PDF file on his back, he can't do it. He got to do something. So he doing what he can do. Now, if it worked, I don't know, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I look like, damn, I see why he's doing it.
But you don't think it would make them scrutinize it even more, being that he's putting so much attention? Like, wait, like that.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Know. I don't know because I mean, I don't know exactly. I'm not a expert. I just know I'm like, okay, that the way I looked at it was, I mean, he had no choice but to do something. At some point, somebody's going to talk to him and like in an interview or something like, you be messing with kids, and we're going to have to look them. Somebody going to ask him that question, and there's going to be a camera there, and he's either going to look them in the face and lie, or he's going to look them in the face and lie and be like, no, that's why I'm suing dude, because I don't play with shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's stuck. Like, I mean, that's if it's his fault. You know what I mean? That's just a situation. I mean, but that's why I said, like, now you gotta think, like, there's some people out there, they wouldn't have went to court. They would have went there and they would have went and took it to a whole different dimension. I mean, they probably would have got violent about it. But he's not built like that. So he's exercising the avenues, the resources he has. He has a lot of money. He can hire lawyers.
Yeah.
And,
at least he can't fight.
If I was his manager, I would be like,
imagine Drake got hands, yo. He crazy.
I mean, you wouldn't want to do that with Kendrick. Kendrick is like, he all LA, like, you know what I'm saying? He's protected.
Yeah.
Like, that's
he's a little dude. But I remember when he was talking about fighting Chris Brown, I was like, Chris Brown would fuck him up. Like, he did not need that in his life.
I don't know, man. I like the move. It's kind of like you make the move that you can. And,
exactly. That's all he can do. It's just
make your next move your best move. He's like, okay.
But at the same time, you gotta understand that.
But he accused Kendrick of beating his wife, yo.
That's what I was about to get to.
He abused him.
Could Kendrick have sued him? Should Kendrick have sued him?
Right, beating his wife and abusing his kids.
I don't know, but
how might the court look at that?
I don't know, but I know that it's very stressful to get court papers in the mail. The motherfucker suing you for some shit, like, you know what I mean? I know that.
He's not suing Kendrick, right? He's suing the record company. Both of these cases are against Universal Music Group, and there's speculation that his goal is to get dropped from Universal because they're both on Universal. So some people are speculating that this is his goal to try and get Universal to settle with him and not actually go through the whole suit, but get them to settle, because it's not actually lawsuits either. Apparently, apparently they're like discovery requests or something like that.
Yeah, I just want to check the books.
Prepare for actual lawsuits, but there's speculation that he's trying to do this so he can get out of that deal with them and go do, because OVO is under a whole different label or something like that, but go under his own, just get his freedom. This is his way of buying his freedom.
wants a way to be able to snitch.
I love that. That's a great move. Even better. I didn't know that they were both on Universal.
Good.
It's interesting, man. I say that to say at least. I definitely ain't gonna. I don't know. I can't say I like.
I appreciate the kid for doing that. It's
I like what's gonna happen to Spotify and Universal as a result of this. Probably, I do like that part because it levels the playing field a little bit for other artists. But I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't give a fuck what happened to Universal and Spotify.
Yeah, they not. Yes, but they not gonna. I don't think anything will change, but maybe something. I mean, shit.
I would like to believe that getting called out for something like that or getting caught being like it's the worst kept secret in the industry. So I don't feel like there's any actual win for independent artists.
I mean, that's why I said, like, right. I don't know if he lying. I don't know if he like just trying to cover his ass because that's what he really be doing. Only thing I know is that he, you know, if I was someone who advised Drake business wise, I would probably be like, yo, I mean, the dude, I mean, it was like he got washed horrible. Like that was like one of the worst washings, aside from like Ja Rule, 50 Cent, right? Like, because yo was just shitting on him. Like every other day he was releasing another song shitting on him. So it was like you lost a lot of credibility here. How do we salvage your career? Well, we can't really have a career with you. And, you know, and I really can't find you work if you know what I mean? People think you messing with kids. So you got to deal with the situation. Let's talk to a lawyer.
But accusing another artist of fudging their numbers or the label fudging their numbers for the other artist, like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's all. I mean, that's all, like, I don't know what. I mean,
let's see what happens.
Yeah, I understand your motivation. I don't know what's going to come of it. I mean, I understand why he's doing what he's doing. I don't know. I mean,
see, now that Sha has revealed, you know, the backstory of the situation. Now I support it even more because it makes sense in business, and this is something you may have to twist and turn and get yourself out of situation. And sometimes situations present themselves, and if you can be a weasel, you can weasel your way out of it. You know what I'm saying? So
here's another question though.
And then, okay, go ahead. My bad.
Well, on the PDF part of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's a chance that all this heat around the Diddy case and the PDF allegations about all the celebrities and the Diddy stuff is what motivated this? Like maybe he's trying to like, oh shit, that heat's going his way. Let me really do something active to get this heat off me because this thing can't sit on me at the same time I see what's happening to Diddy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's what I said. He like I mean, it's obviously something's off there.
That's another great point, brother. You got to check the temperature of what's going on in the next courtroom. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's very.
I know Puffy a dirtbag. I really don't even understand what he charged with though.
Puff?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I think it's abuse of baby oil or something like that.
Yeah, that's like nobody can't tell me the charges. Like, yo, when you go to jail, they give you the paper in the cell that's like, here go your charges. What's his charges? Like, and they say Rico, but it's like Rico.
He's the only one.
Well, like, sex trafficking is part of it because he's paying people and carrying them across state lines with the money. I think is one of the angles.
See, that's the problem. I don't understand. He paying for it,
but it's also providing the drugs and all that's being trafficked across state lines. Like if it's a racket or criminal organization, he's really making money off criminal activity. But he's doing it with his. I don't know if making money is a requirement, but it's the fact that his organization, like his right hand woman, for example, was the person coordinating the drugs and all this and that. And he's got people that are part of that are employed by him who are doing some of these things to make these things happen. Is how they're at least coming at him. I'm not saying it's right or not, but this is how they're at least coming at him with it. It's like you got people that you're paying, and you have a whole organization that says it's a record label, but you're doing all these other things with the money from this record label to fulfill these activities that people are claiming that they're victims of.
That's what, but he not charged no sexual shit though. That's what
they're saying their kids involved. They're saying their kids involved in some of these cases. All that they
charges because
it's supposed to be publicly available documents. I'm not reading it.
Yeah, they all
I've
public.
watched some of these YouTubers who are like reading some of them, and I've watched them like go over certain pages of the documents and read and explain some of it. It's pretty deep, man.
I'm not trying to read the documents either. I thought RICO was for like if you're like running an organization that's illegal and the government cannot find a way to charge you with a crime because your endeavors are too organized, and they charge you with RICO. But if you are like an executive who just basically tricking and paying for pussy, that's not you basically tricking. It's like then you need to be charged as a sex offender, not as a.
But when you're trafficking children, young people,
I didn't even know the kids was involved in this, and why he being charged?
Some of the allegations, at least.
Yeah, but I don't see no charges pertaining to kids. And I don't see nothing to say minor. I mean, or heard anything on mine. I just heard RICO, and then
yeah, but don't the judge have?
There's gun related shit in there. They're investigating like Pac's death. And people are alleging that he might have had a hand in Biggie's death. Like it goes way deeper than just the sex stuff. The way that at least a lot of the reports are going. Like it sounds like there's a lot of digging and discovery for way more than just the sex stuff. It sounds like this is just the wedge they're using to get into going after him for a whole bunch of other shit too.
Yeah,
we want to hold you here until your court date.
Yeah,
that's why you don't understand. I mean, that's why I look in that way, because they don't have to say anything now because they want to just hold him until his court date because he has the escapability. You know what I'm saying? So instead of like letting him pay his bail and get out of there and be like in New York or something, like nah.
That don't make sense because I thought that you had.
They're gonna hold you until your court date, until you see his day in court, and that's legal. And the RICO thing covers one person. I mean, the RICO thing it covers one person too. I mean, the adding on to that law is to expand itself to then reverse and get the kingpin. So if they already have a kingpin, that's why when they catch certain people, they'll name him the kingpin. And so that's actually a RICO because that kingpin can let you into some higher ups. He can let you know how the whole operation goes. So, you know what I'm saying?
There are also allegations that part of this is also to get Diddy to flip on other people in Hollywood.
There you go.
Are there charges? I mean, what are the charges? That's what I'm saying. Like, how the charges fit? Like, and then also, I didn't know that you could be held. I didn't know that you could be held without being charged for that long. Because he on bail. He charged with something because he's.
Exactly. That's why they call judges. They get to say what they want.
Yeah, but you got to be charged in front of a judge. Like you can't.
They're saying he's a flight risk and all that. He's been in front of a judge quite a bit though.
Yeah, but he a flight risk for what charges?
Yeah, I wonder. I
don't care.
I definitely don't know my heart. I definitely not getting that involved. But I have been curious just about how it's going down, like what all the tendrils and how far the charge beyond him.
Yeah, I mean that charge, that's a different tax bracket. So maybe when you do have accessibility to shit across the world, maybe they can. I mean, they probably want to do that to me or something. I ain't going nowhere, but I mean, he is in a bracket that isn't he a billionaire or something like that?
He's been.
You might want to hold him while you got him. You know what I'm saying? The bird in the hand is worth one in the bush and all that stuff. So.
He's on camera.
I think they just holding him until he has to stay in court.
He's on camera physically abusing someone. Like we know.
Yeah, but he ain't charged with it though. That's what I'm saying.
But if you haven't read it, how do you know what he isn't charged with? I thought you said you didn't actually.
All I saw was he was charged with RICO. That's what I was saying. And I don't understand why it's RICO. Like it just seems like
there's probably more
problem.
Well, RICO is like. It covers a bunch of charges. Usually, when there's a RICO charge, there's a shitload of charges included in that because they have to have a whole string of crimes in order for it to be a racketeering thing.
All right,
don't get me wrong. I'm not defending him. I'm just my issue is with Rico was like, okay, so what if he? I mean, which he most likely did. He did like horrible things to women, right? And it's like, okay, well, there's a statute of limitations in the state of New York, so we cannot charge him because of statute of limitations. Hey, we could charge on Rico. Now, what happens to me if I go to New York? I'm just making a lot of money and I'm just telling people, look, I'm paying my taxes, go fuck yourself. And they're like, oh, we really don't like Paul, so let's figure out a way to charge him with Rico too. You understand what I'm saying?
See, but you can't forget what's going on in New York. Then the mayor just get called into court.
Yep.
And then
after Diddy.
Exactly. He had just given the old boy the key to the city the second time around. It's like he went to court and maybe he said, well, it's not me. It might be. And then they probably like, oh, so they got some stuff.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that if this man is committing crimes, charge him for the crime he is accused of committing. Like, I don't like the idea of there being a law where we can just loosely fit it to anybody. Like, oh, Al Capone could charge with Rico. Oh, R. Kelly could charge with Rico. No, charge the nigga as a sex offender so he can be a sex offender. Like, you know what I mean? Over here, next thing you know, it's like, oh shit, we don't like, I don't know, we don't like Puffy, charge him Rico. But then what if it's somebody who, I mean, if they throwing Rico at everybody, what happens when it's the person who's really not doing shit, but he's just saying what people don't really like him saying? Now we could charge him with Rico too. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you, but I don't feel like you're.
I don't think it applies in this situation. I think is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think it may not apply.
I think they can definitely, they have overreach and they can definitely overreach whenever they want. And that shit is fucked up. I think I think we all agree and understand that.
When you taking somebody who's an asshole or you taking somebody who's fucked up and doing, of course we're not going to ask questions about him because he deserves some form of justice. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, he's getting what he's reaping what he's sown. But at the same time, we're not asking questions now. So what happens later when it's somebody else? And that's the only thing that kind of like, I'm not saying it like, that's why I'm saying I need to understand the charges.
A RICO charge is a racketeering charge.
Yeah, racketeering or running into a criminal organization. And it's a federal charge. And they created it.
So he's getting charged with racketeering.
Yeah, but what's he racketeering?
What's the definition of racketeering?
What's he illegally selling? What?
Let's see. He's about to.
So it says charged in a 3-count indictment with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
Okay, I get that. Okay.
Between 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others, and led a racketeering conspiracy that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice, among other crimes. So they're saying he basically set fire to somebody's car using a Molotov cocktail.
Okay.
Which follows the kind of the same allegation from Cassie.
Okay.
Incident with Cassie in the hotel, but those are at least those 3.
And he profited from these.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's why I want to know, did he profit?
That's part of the problem, yeah.
That's part of the problem. They feel as though he profited from it. And it's against his organization, him being the head of it. That puts a lot of other people on the chopping block as well. Anybody that was working for him can now come under that same RICO blanket, and it's a wrap for them too.
So in these cases, where can you see him profiting? That's why I can't see.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand.
I can't imagine.
So if I want so and so to be on my label, and I send him some pussy to go ahead and sign to my label, now I'm making money off of everything he did under my label. That's very profit.
I want to see this in court. Like, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna really watch this trial, but I'm really interested in like.
You sign with Bad Boy, we'll get you girls that'll come up and do anything, and then you pay them girls to go up there and do anything, and then next thing you know, homeboy dropped 17 albums and you done made $6 million off of it. That's racketeering. It's a rap.
And he did, right? Not to mention he died 10 years ago and shit.
Yeah. You sign here and we'll make sure you got all the you want to snort, and all the trees you want to blow.
And then
granted, that probably happens a lot in a bunch of different labels and so on and so forth. But Holmes, and he probably was running his mouth to the wrong person. They was like, "Oh, you think you got money?
Well,
here's out, nigga."
Here's the other part about it. He was, Ciroc, right? He had that Ciroc marketing deal. He allegedly had a deal for a side deal with the same company, or he broke another deal with the company for his own brand that was off Ciroc, and he took them to court, and he won their case. And apparently, this company, I think it's De Leon, is a huge company that they're like one of these like Rockefeller, alleged Rockefeller powered type companies. So basically, a lot of people are saying at his case, he got raided, I think within a month of him winning that case or whatever. So a lot of people are alleging that him fucking with them people is what got this.
So we, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like we're Bill Cosby trying to buy NBC-ing this situation.
I don't think he's no victim at all. I think that
I didn't want to say that.
Well, a big part of why they holding him is because he was tampering with the witnesses.
Yeah,
that's a big part of why they're holding him too. Because
I mean, the ruling on why he wasn't allowed bail is because they think there would be obstruction of justice and potential tampering with witnesses. So
he called a girl like 54 times and shit. Boy,
that was within like the past hour or two.
That motherfucker scared.
Man, what was it? Something happened with the last hour or two, you said?
Yeah, it sounds like
I do know he was tampering with the witnesses, and
I'm gonna play y'all something in a minute. I'm about to find it that I heard earlier this week.
Like Bill Cosby, Diddy's a piece of shit, and he needs to be put behind bars. Like he needs to deal with that shit. You know what I mean?
Right?
Didn't they let Bill Cosby go?
Definitely. I just think that, the only thing I was worried about was
humiliating people and shit.
No, that if you, like I said, if you want that, he's being charged with the right charges, and not just because we know he did something, so we just gotta find something to charge him with. That's the only time it's kind of that's the only thing I was
Yeah, but you cannot tamper with the witnesses.
No, I know that. I'm not talking about that, but he's not charged with witness tamper. He's charged with Rashid said, he charged with RICO. He's charged with trafficking across state line, provide transportation for sexual.
Yeah, but pistol, they didn't even mention
it. But in that is also the talk around the sex trafficking. So, the became federal because crossing state lines. There's the talk of those things being recorded and used to trap people into contracts, or threaten to expose for the sake of embarrassment if they don't agree, which also led to some of the drug trafficking. So there's definitely
a lot.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Again, to Al's point, it's not hard to tie profit to some of that stuff when you kind of start.
And then the other thing is I was because my thing was when I first was hearing, I was like RICO. That's all I heard was RICO. So I'm like, and I'm also thinking about the Young Thug shit. And so I'm thinking this is a whole different, a whole different bag right here, because he just from what I was hearing, he was just throwing parties and shit. So I'm like, how he did RICO for this being a trick basically, or, you know what I mean, or being a sex offender. But now it's what y'all saying, it makes sense.
Hit with the RICO, they repo your vehicle, everything was all good just a week
ago. So I saw this thing pop up on my YouTube feed earlier this week. This a YouTuber who's a very pro-right, anti-left, anti-democrat person, but she's been talking apparently a lot about Diddy, and I saw this pop up on my screen. I just want y'all were talking about the witness tampering thing. This is from this week. Check this out.
But what is she trying to prove?
Well, she's just saying that there are private investigators going around saying, hey, if you're talking about Diddy on your streams, one, is somebody paying you because they're coming under the guise of, hey, if somebody's paying you, maybe that's wrong. But also the other thing they're saying is, if somebody's paying you, we'll pay you more to tell the opposite story or to start talking about the opposite of what you're talking about on your thing. So I think that kind of speaks to the witness tampering piece of this.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, I must not let it go. No,
I heard.
Yeah,
I kind of heard what she was saying, but like, I guess it's that like nothing about that seems odd to me, outside of the fact that maybe because she's a YouTuber, but she has 2.7 million followers, so that's a pretty large number. But as a part of trying to build a defense or a case, you would generally go to people. So like I don't know. I
guess
would
you offer to pay them to talk about?
That's what I'm saying. I guess if they're offering her to send it, I guess that's where I say, all right, now I get it. But if I'm like, this sounds kind of standard to me. But if that's, and I did hear her say if people are paying you, but I didn't. I guess I didn't make that connection.
Yeah. But does that sound like the witness tampering, an example of the witness tampering thing, or how that type of reach could happen? And she's not saying specifically that Diddy paid for it too. She's like, what if one of these other celebrities that may be in trouble is paying somebody to kind of get ahead of it too? So she's not trying to throw the stain on him. But the fact that they're asking about him specifically is just interesting. Just seeing something like this happen in the world today, like that we're getting to witness things like this to this degree, whereas 10, 20 years ago, we wouldn't be hearing about stories like this, most likely, or we wouldn't get to hear about them in this level of detail. I just find that really interesting. I don't love it, but it's very interesting.
It's got to be true.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
I mean, it seems normal, like you said. I mean, it could be defense or prosecution that's trying to get information.
I don't think any of that is new. The pay for the counter
that's the only part
version of I guess what we want to believe are the facts. That piece seems, I guess,
it was reported that he was having inmates use their phone time to reach out to people. So he's been put into a certain area, or they're trying to combat that from him actually getting other inmates to reach out to people on the street. They get out to reach on people on the street to get his message out there, whatever he's trying to, and whomever he's trying to get to. So
much the same as November 6th, I think people's minds are made up. Like I don't know. I'm
you can't forget about Shine. Shine is out right now, and he has a
documentary coming out.
He got a documentary coming out. That's right. So,
timing on all this seems funny though.
I mean,
at some point, people get together. Cassie. Who knows? This could be it. People are getting together. I mean, I done heard. I mean, when I probably would never repeat it until we talking about it now. But even Jamie Foxx is supposed to be like helping to spearhead some things like that.
He said the reason he was sick is because Puffy poisoned him. Yeah.
Oh, he actually said it.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was actually said.
In a comedy show, but apparently it was a moment of.
What you gonna do if Trump pardons Puffy?
Exactly.
That thought occurred to me, man.
I think it's gonna happen. I think that's how he's gonna get out.
They was homies for him.
He's a good man.
Yeah, Diddy a long player. You know what I'm saying?
I was actually thinking the opposite. Like, is Puffy at risk of the death penalty? Is actually what I was thinking about, because Trump is talking about death penalty for drug traffickers and blah blah blah. And since drug trafficking is one of the charges against Puffy, and it's a RICO case, like,
wow,
risk now too.
Jeez.
I think
damn, that's crazy.
I think his circle. I don't see him getting the same treatment as, I don't know, Joe
Arpaio
from
One of Us.
I don't.
The Arizona boy.
I mean,
he ain't getting that.
I don't know. I mean, who knows, man? I'm more worried about what pair of underwear I'm wearing for Thanksgiving. Yo, to be honest, it is what it is.
That's what I said. Like that shit is. I mean, he getting justice that he deserved. I just didn't understand. I just didn't understand that the RICO approach. I was like, hold on, if he a record executive, how is he making money off something criminal? He just doing criminal shit because I thought it was just excess and self-indulgence, pretty much. That he was just somebody who was like, I mean, living in gluttony and just his
a super freak.
His gluttony and his lust consumed him. But
go to Walmart and buy all the baby oil.
And then bring it back to me. I'll pay you double.
It's just all crazy. It's just a wild time to live in, man. All of these things can be easily become distractions.
I don't know that I think it's any wilder. I just think like that young lady you just showed, everybody just has a platform now. Yo. Like it. Yeah. Like I don't. The world's been crazy.
Demi Moore grew up in Studio 54. She was like 9-10 years old. Everybody in there.
The world's crazy.
Drew Barrymore
was in there. Yeah, Drew Barrymore. That's who it was. Trump was in there with Sylvester Stallone fucking snorting coke off each other's buttholes. I don't know about that.
All right, see, now you're gonna have a knock on your door in a second. Between the Russians and that bit of inflammatory information,
right? And Studio 54 is like,
hey, look, let's lock that Abby West deal in. You gotta lock that Abby West deal in quick. Al about to be
better do it now.
They coming for Al. Yo.
Better get a BICO charge.
So, yeah, no, nothing new. Just like you said, everybody got a platform now to talk about it. So,
but
I just mean it's just like the level of detail and the perspectives we get now. Like you almost get to like sit there near real time as these wild things are happening. Whereas a story like this back in the day would have broken months later in the newspaper or something like that. And it's just.
And also, with our social media internet, it was a lot of information could just been kept out because the only way you're really getting it is through like syndicated news or like friends.
We're getting levels of detail that we never would have gotten before.
Yeah, information not travel like that.
But again, like
I was listening to some YouTube. They were talking about like his sons tried to beat up Ray J.
I heard about that too.
I mean,
I'm over people, yo. I'm sorry. Like for real, like take some of this stuff back, yo. Give me back the AOL, yo. This shit is too much.
Damn.
I need to decide if I want to be on the internet or talk to you. Like I don't want the
right.
To do both
can't
anymore,
do both.
Yeah, I don't. There's too much freedom. There's too much power for one man to have. Like I don't want this much freedom, yo.
It's a wild world, man.
You get
wilder, but actually it is kind of wilder when you think about it. Shit.
Yeah, I like watching some of the cases, like public cases. I mean, it should be publicized. He's a public figure. Yeah. His case should be publicized.
I agree with that. I just don't know if I want my next door neighbor being the person broadcasting it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I definitely am not the one you want broadcast. I'll be on some bullshit.
That's another funny part is that's how a lot of people are saying that the election in the final days was kind of won was through the podcasting community or the private podcasters as opposed to normal media, which was the channel through which people got most of the information about candidates and made their decisions. Now they're making decisions based on your neighbor Joe Schmo podcasting from his basement and his opinions and his rants and shit. That
big time.
Interesting. So that's how he got most of these young male votes, a lot of these male votes that probably male voters who probably wouldn't have voted before. And I know there's a whole lot more to it. There's a whole lot deeper to that. We ain't got to get into it.
Yeah, he did. Trump did streaming motherfuckers. He did Rogan, and the ad dude up in Canada. He was hitting them. Well ran.
He didn't have to do a damn thing. I'm gonna just stop.
Yeah,
but you do have to. He played the part. Whereas,
bro,
you know what I'm saying?
No female, especially black female, was getting elected in 2024. Yo. It wasn't going to happen. Yo. It was a nice thought. It was cute. It wasn't going to happen. Yo.
Yeah, but it's about how you win when you win too. You know what I'm saying? You still have all of that shit.
So
the assassination, him working at McDonald's, him over there with the black ladies.
The what?
This,
the what?
Here we go.
I don't rock with the right.
Right. Hey. You know. The cover.
Y'all vote for the dummy who
pretended somebody shot him.
But you see that since they've gotten more of the counts in, he actually did not win the popular vote by a very large margin, and it's still possible he might not have won the popular vote at all.
Ooh. I heard in Nevada that it's too late for recounts now too. Like there are people who are urging Kamala for recounts because they're alleging things like that. Of course, Elon had the tweet earlier this summer saying anything could be hacked, and then Trump before the election was saying, "I don't need your votes. Don't worry about voting. You don't have to go vote." There's many videos of him saying that out loud before the election. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going on. I still haven't put it all together. Like I was taking notes on this one case. This guy that wrote a letter to Kamala urging her to ask for recounts in the swing states because of the fact that there are a whole bunch of facts he put out. He put a whole case together, but part of it was talking about how, you remember when the Republicans were going after those voting machines to go have things recounted, and some of those voting machines disappeared. There are allegations that they took the software from those things, learned how to hack those, and then they had people in place at the election bureaus in these different states where they actually hacked votes. There are a bunch of ballots that were cast just for him, and they didn't vote for any of there were no down votes, like there were no local votes, and there was a completely imbalanced number or some number that's not normal for an election. Like there are a whole bunch of pieces that are just making it seem a whole lot more suspicious than it really is. And it is curious to me that the Democrats haven't been fighting this or going to like at least go investigate some of this shit, because it did seem kind of odd that he took it over by that much. For example, one of the other stats is that he got about the same number of votes that he got in the 2020 election, but somehow there are like 10 million or 20 million Democratic voters that didn't show up to the polls. But also there were people like this brother FD Signifier who talked about how he was dropped from his voter rolls in Georgia, and he had to go re-register. And I'm wondering how many people got dropped from their voter rolls. And there's all these different things that have been done since 2020 and 2016, where there are things that have been done to disenfranchise or discourage or keep people from voting on the Democratic side, the intimidation tactics, but also the shenanigans, the type of shenanigans that got exposed to the 2020 election. I'm really curious if it wasn't snatched or it wasn't taken or stolen like it was before. Like, why wasn't it stolen this time, but last time, and they were warning about the election being stolen, but then all of a sudden, right before the election, Trump's like, "Yeah, I ain't got to worry about voting. I ain't got to worry about."
Did any of y'all get a phone call asking if you were going to vote?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't answer my phone, so I don't know.
Yeah, you got that. Mm-hmm. Where were you at? Were you in Nevada when you got that, or were you already in South Carolina?
And I was in South Carolina getting calls from Nevada and from Georgia. They had me registered to vote in Georgia.
Oh, they had you registered in Georgia.
I mean,
I lived in Atlanta before I moved to Nevada. Like, I lived in Atlanta in 2020, so going to Trump Biden election. So they still have me registered to vote in Atlanta and shit. So
is that how you voted this year?
I didn't vote. Okay. I couldn't vote. I mean, I wanted to, but by the time I got here, it was like they said registration was closed. And it was like, you can go there the day of. And I had my daughter. I thought waiting in line with a 2-year-old. I was like, it's just a prayer in the air at this point.
See, and that's kind of the thing I'm thinking. Like, is the Democrats are talking about how many voters didn't show up, and I think they're assuming it's people that showed up because they were just disenfranchised or they were upset with the Democratic Party. But I'm like, are you sure that's the reason why you don't see these votes?
Yeah. According to where the numbers were the last time I looked, it looked like she was only losing by like 1 million votes. Like the margin came way the fuck down. Like a lot of people voted third party,
I just got a text last week saying my vote was discounted.
Like, yeah, but that's one of my beefs is we allow the news stations to determine who's in what state. They call the states like are in cahoots to talk about. All right, this person is winning this state because it's by.
That's right.
And then they call it, and so they get those delegates or whatever.
Yeah,
you know? But then they find out like as the month goes on, they're still counting. So, in my personal opinion, this shit shouldn't be called until the fucking numbers are counted, and then we can say like, all right, this state, like they're done actually counting. So then the delegates, whatever, you know what I mean? Like it seems like the news stations be calling that shit real quick, but then you can and it's like, oh, so there was still a chance, but it was already called. Like it's just a weird system. Like first, the two-party system bullshit is bullshit. You know what I mean?
That's bullshit. Yep, check that out the way.
We don't have to worry about it anymore. So
right.
Yeah, don't have to vote after this.
Right.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Trump.
They was already calling it. They was already calling dude winning, and I hadn't voted yet. It had to be like 5, close to 6 o'clock because I can just walk. I'm like, ain't that a bitch? Like it's getting ahead of the game. But don't even go out and vote. Basically, is what it's trying to get me to do. It's like, man, he's already in the lead. But that's per news station. You know what I'm saying? And the media can definitely control that. I mean, how many? Everybody else saw that. By the time they got home, you see that on the news. You tired. You're like, oh shit, he winning anyway. You like, you gonna stay home? They played all the way down. They played, like you were saying, Shot. The tactics only got better. And toward the end of it, he started rattling sometimes and letting us into, like you said, like you don't even have to vote. He said something about a virus earlier this summer that came out, and they asked him like, "What? Were you hinting to about this?" Oh no, I wasn't talking about that. It's like sometimes you can't contain it. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely was letting some of the tricks out of the bag. But
we got what we asked for. Now we got to deal with it. So.
Y'all been looking at the FAFO shit.
What's that?
Fuck around, find out. FAFO. If you search that on TikTok, there's a bunch of motherfuckers just talking shit. Just talking shit. Like one, specifically, they talk about the tariffs and how everybody thought that tariffs were a great idea. And now Walmart has already announced that their prices are going up. And
that's right.
They're interviewing a bunch of people. They're like, so what do you think about that? They're like, oh shit. That's what that meant.
I hope we get every single freaking thing we asked for, yo. And I hate to say it like that.
I hope this recount this shit is turned the fuck around, but that's a civil war for sure.
I hope every single thing that was talked about comes to fruition. Yeah. And I hate to say it like that, yo, but honestly, this is what you asked for. Deal with it. You thought you couldn't afford gas yesterday. Just wait.
Yeah. They saying that they already passed the FA stage, and now we're in the FO stage, the find out stage.
The find out stage, huh?
And this is what we wanted. Go have at it.
I mean, fuck it.
The swamp has been drained. The problem is now all the gators are out. So,
damn.
I take solace in the fact that we're all fucked. You too, Mr. Guy.
The difference is I'm used to being fucked, so it doesn't bother me. Like this is not necessarily a new position.
This is how you've been living your whole life.
You will notice that I'm extremely comfortable right now. This doesn't feel different to me.
You're starving. Shit, better split that bean between 6 of y'all and shut the fuck up.
Right. Why ain't my wine getting made as fast? Because they sent all the people that were picking the fucking grapes back. That's why.
That's why.
Yeah, damn.
And you thought it was expensive before. Wait till you start paying somebody $25 an hour to go pick grapes.
For real. For real.
Yeah,
we got to get out there and pick for the damn grape.
I'm glad we're at least able to be a little lighter about it, because shit, it was damn sure tense in these conversations before. Like, I didn't even want to bring it up after the election. I didn't even want to have a single piece of a conversation after it for a little while. I think it needed a little minute to get this shit settle in.
Yeah, man.
I still get offended by people who are surprised.
Yeah, I don't know why. What you need to do?
Yeah, for real.
You know what would be masterful though, if there are people on the Democratic side who are like, you know what, we know these votes are going to get counted, and that we're going to challenge this shit in X kind of way, but first we're going to let them get to this FAFO point first, so that way maybe we defuse the chances of a civil uprising after we flip this shit back around. Like, that would be a dream for me. Like, I'm about to go ask Santa for that shit for Christmas.
They sound like they're brilliant.
I know my bad.
That would be some shit though.
You know, we need to just start a Grayskull party shit.
Hey, I'm with it. The gray order.
Education, what they call hip hop ain't the truth. That can